I just want to show off. I got the Duke Atreides signet ring. Now I am Duke of Arrakis. Muad'Dib! Denis, my compa. No, we talked about this. I told you. If you made Austin Butler's Fade Ralph bald, you have to go back and reshoot it and give him hair. I am joking for the most part. I mean, I trust Denis. Again, the Harkonnens all Harkonnen. Do you know what? I think I figured it out. I think the reason why they say Harkonnen in Dune Part 1 is because Denis Villeneuve has a very heavy French accent, and so he goes Harkonnen. So I think that's the reason why. Because I'm pretty sure no one in that film says Harkonnen. Everyone says Harkonnen. Anyway, Denis making all the Harkonnens bald is fine. It's an aesthetic choice. I get it. It's just that I feel like Austin Butler would look great, you know, with hair. But look, I get it. Denis Villeneuve making all the Harkonnens bald is an aesthetic choice. I get it. It looks fine. I'm sure Austin Butler's going to look great. It's annoying because CinemaCon has just come and gone. There was a whole panel. At the time of this recording, the Warner Brothers panel at CinemaCon has finished. We have news about all the Warner Brothers releases throughout the coming year. There's news about Wonka, where like Timothée Chalamet is, you know, Willy Wonka, and he's like facing off against the chocolate cartel. Sounds amazing. I can't wait for that. But realistically, the main and important news for me was Dune Part 2 stuff. And look, Warner Brothers may have not said a lot about Dune Part 2. In fact, they pretty much gave us crumbs. But hey, I will take every mouthful of those crumbs I can get because Dune Part 2 is my most anticipated film of this year, and I can't wait. Okay, breaking news alert. Variety just dropped an article with a bunch of new stills from Dune Part 2. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting very, very excited now. We got pictures of Timothée Chalamet as Muad'Dib. He's got the blue and blue eyes. Him and Zendaya pulling his sihaya. We've got our first look at Florence Pugh as the Princess Erlon, and she looks great. And then we've also got this hilarious image of the Baron Harkonnen like smoking a pipe, which is very like iconically the Baron. Like this imagery here just makes me think, yeah, that's the Baron Harkonnen. And I hope we get to see a little bit more of that in the film, because in the first film, the Baron Harkonnen is like very just, you know, the menacing figure in the background, kind of like he is in the books, but they tone back his goofiness. So I'm hoping in this one he'll be a little bit more goofy, and I think that's what we're going to get in this film. We've got more stills of Javier Bardem as Stilgar and Dave Bautista as the Beast Raban, and surprisingly, they revealed Gurney Halleck. And I say surprisingly just because, you know, one of the major questions I had from friends about the first Dune film was like, what the hell happened to Gurney? Where did he go? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Obviously knowing that Gurney shows up in the second half, and obviously if you watch the 1984 film, you know Gurney reappears, but it's kind of like, I'm surprised they revealed that, but I guess it's because they want to sell it on Josh Brolin as well. We've also got this image of the beautiful Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica, and she has now embraced the Fremen Reverend Mother role, and just, she's got like the face tattoos, which I think is a cool distinction of making the Fremen Reverend Mother look different to the actual Reverend Mothers, like Guys Helen Mahayam. And then we get the image that makes me the most excited, which is of Austin Butler as Fade Ralph the Harkonnen. We don't see his face, but we see his back silhouette, and he looks incredible. That picture is just incredibly hard. Like, it goes so fucking hard. I'm slowly coming to terms with both Fade Ralph the Harkonnen. I want to see what he looks like from the front, and I'm assuming we'll see that in the eventual teaser trailer, but it's like, I'm so excited. I wonder if they're going to make his eyes fully black, because again, there are those Harkonnen ladies that were, you know, treating the Baron with the mud bath. They had like fully black eyes, so I'm wondering if Fade looks like that. And then an interesting thing with the article too was that Denis Villeneuve quoted saying that he describes Fade Ralph to be kind of like a Mick Jagger rock star with a serial killer vibe, which sounds so cool. And to end things off, we've got a nice picture of the beautiful Lea Seydoux as Lady Margot Fenring, though surprisingly there is no mention of the Count Fenring, but Tim Blake Nelson is in this movie, so I'm assuming Tim Blake Nelson is playing the Count Fenring. Or I feel like they've definitely taken away Count Fenring's role and they've given it more to Lea Seydoux's character, and Fenring is still going to be there, but he's not going to be as important compared to Lady Margot. And to end things off, we've got a absolutely amazing picture of the master himself, Denis Villeneuve, mon compa. I'm so excited. This is going to be great. The biggest reveal was that they showed a teaser of Dune Part 2 at CinemaCon, which I hope is released online soon because, again, they've given me crumbs, and I need to see something from this movie. And in that trailer, we get glimpses of Timothée Chalamet as Paul Atreides and Zendaya as Chani and their romance blossoming, as well as seeing bits of Florence Pugh apparently looking very regal as the Princess Erlon, and we see Austin Butler as Fade Ralph the Harkonnen, who is bald. Again, it's an aesthetic choice, I get it. I just would have preferred if he had hair because, you know, Fade Ralph in the books is supposed to be described as, you know, athletic and strong, and I think he has long blonde hair. It's been a while since I've read the book, and I do plan on rereading it before part 2 comes out, but I keep hearing conflicting descriptions of Feyd-Rautha. Apparently he either has red Harkonnen hair, or he has long black hair, or he has long sandy hair that goes down to his shoulders, which is weird because in the book the Baron has distinctly red hair and pretty much all the Harkonnens have red hair, so I don't know which one it is anymore. But one of the cool things that Denis Villeneuve said at the CinemaCon panel was that Feyd-Rautha Harkonnen is essentially an Olympic-level swordsman with a mind of a serial killer, which sounds so good, and I can't wait to see what Austin Butler does. Like, Austin Butler apparently trained with a Navy SEAL for this, and he worked out till basically his body broke down, which, again, I love Austin Butler as an actor because he always dives into a role. I mean, Elvis Presley, like, he literally exhausted himself to the point where before they even rolled cameras, Austin Butler had to go to hospital because of exhaustion, because he trained so much in order to get the role of Elvis Presley. So I know Austin Butler is going to deliver as Feyd-Rautha, and I just can't wait to see it. Come on! Denis Villeneuve also said that Dune Part 2 is going to be a lot more action-packed, and in many ways it's a war film, because the first film was mostly set up. This film is all the payoff. It's the action war epic, which is very much akin to the book, because the second half of the Dune book is more action-heavy when Frank Herbert actually decides to write about the action, because again, one of the problems I have with the Dune book is that in the second half, like, action is implied, but Frank Herbert just doesn't write about the action. But the biggest curiosity I have about Dune Part 2 is how is Denis Villeneuve going to pull it off, just because when it comes to the Dune book, I love the first half, and the second half is very good, and a lot of that is due to the Harkonnen stuff with Feyd-Rautha, with the Baron Harkonnen. The stuff with Aaliyah, Paul's sister, is great. It's just that when it comes to the satisfaction of the climax, it's very iffy. A lot of that does stem from the fact that Dune Messiah, which I think was supposed to be part of the first Dune book, but then Frank Herbert published it as the second book, is essentially the ending to Paul Atreides' character arc, and in many ways that's the most important part of his character arc, and so the ending to the first Dune book feels quite lacking. But also, the way Frank Herbert writes about certain things, it's like, yeah, this can definitely be improved upon, because, again, he skips over the action unless it's really important. Another cool, interesting thing that they revealed at the panel was that Denis Villeneuve said that this film is shot entirely in IMAX. They said they shot roughly 40% of the first film in IMAX, and this film they've gone all out, they shot it all in IMAX, and that's so cool. I really hope that they re-release Dune Part 1 in IMAX, because I never got to see it in IMAX. I saw it, what, 4 times in cinema? And the one format I didn't see it in was IMAX, and I really want to see it in IMAX, and so I'm definitely seeing Part 2 in IMAX in some way, shape, or form, because, like, I have to. But also, I feel like Part 2 is going to lend to the epicness of that. We're going to get more sandworm stuff, and speaking of the sandworms, Timothée Chalamet said that the sandworm he rides was basically all practical, which I think sounds amazing. In many ways, it's going to look better than David Lynch's Dune. I mean, it has to, considering how many years has passed since that film. But also, it's just gonna look great on camera. Like, in Denis Villeneuve, I trust. Yes, he made Feyd-Rautha bald, and I am fighting against that decision, but also, I haven't seen it, and for all I know, it's gonna look great. Like, it goes so fucking hard. I mean, Dave Bautista looks great bald as the Beast Raban, but then again, Dave Bautista's pretty much bald. But then also, you know, you have actors like Stellan Skarsgård, who is the Baron Harkonnen. He looks great bald. And then you have those twin ladies, you know, in the scene in the first film where the Baron is having that weird mud bath. Those two, like, bald ladies there, they look good. So, again, it's an aesthetic choice. It's just that Austin Butler's too sexy to be bald, man.
Lord have mercy.
However, apparently what they didn't show in the teaser was a look at Christopher Walken as the Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV, which is interesting because, again, Christopher Walken is a very interesting choice, and I wonder how Christopher Walken is he going to be. How weird are they going to make the Padishah Emperor? Is he going to be like, a ball, the spice must flow, a baron, the fat man, bring the fat man? Are they going to do that, or is it going to be more subtle? I'm so curious. But I'm going to wrap things up from here. There wasn't too much revealed at CinemaCon about Dune Part 2. Like I said, it was crumbs, but it was delicious crumbs, and I can't wait to see the teaser, and just, I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait for everyone to start shouting, Muad'Dib! It's gonna be great. But anyways, those are just my thoughts on the Dune Part 2 stuff from the Warner Brothers CinemaCon panel. What did you guys think? Are you guys excited for Dune Part 2? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, follow on social media, all that good stuff. Until we meet again, I'll see you guys next time. Muad'Dib!